Well, welcome everybody. We're having a very special episode of the Midlife Reset podcast today. I've brought on one of my friends. Actually, I think this person has known me since I was a toddler, longtime yoga student, and a participant in the SHE Mindfulness Program. And I've asked her to come on today to chat with you to let you know what it's like to be a student in the SHE program, what she learns and why she decided to join and where she's hoping to go from here. I think hearing from a real live person what their experience is, and this is all unscripted today, will be really helpful if you've been thinking about making some changes at midlife and you're wondering if this program is for you. What's it all about? Is it legit? So I would like to introduce to you Robin Brock. Robin is a longtime Thorold resident. She was our mayor at one point, and she is here today, though, as an individual who just wants to share her experience with other women in the hopes that she can support other women who may be considering making a decision to join the SHE program. So, welcome, Robin. It's so nice to have you on the podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me to participate. I'm really
And,
looking forward to this.
and yeah, I know. And here you are at your beautiful cottage
I
up
am,
north
yes.
in the beautiful fall colors.
It's absolutely gorgeous. The
Yeah,
colors are unbelievable.
yeah.
And I mean, a week from now, all the trees will be bare. So we're enjoying it while we can.
You're being very mindful in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Okay. So I just wanted to ask you just a few questions today so that we could kind of um, get to know what it's like to be a member of the SHE program.
Okay.
So, what attracted you in the first place to try and,
Well, I think what
hey, Robin?
I'll turn. Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello. Are
Huh.
we having technical difficulties?
We are, and that's from being at the cottage, I'm afraid.
Mm,
Hopefully, it'll be okay from here on in. What attracted me in the first place, I think, and I'll try to make a very long story short, was that I have had an extremely blessed life. I did start, married young, divorced young, single mother with kids, worked 3 jobs so that I could buy myself a house and support my kids. Um, I was on city council for 18 years. I was the mayor. And then I had a very high level executive job. All of these things, from having children to being in politics to managing a large healthcare company, require you to be on call 24/7. When you go on vacation, you take a laptop, used to be a BlackBerry, a cell phone. You have to be available all the time. To retirement, I was able to retire a little bit earlier than 65. And you work your whole life for this. And all of a sudden, nobody needs you anymore.
mm,
You're not on the clock. You're not on call. You're looking for your purpose. And when I saw the outline for the SHE program, it 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 felt to me like this would help me find my way. So, and it did. I mind you, I'm still working on it.
yeah,
It's a long process, but I did find that you start. Well, I'm too old. First thought, right?
yeah.
Midlife women or that we're too old. Um, you're embarrassed. Well, I'm going to go back to school, or I did join a gym. I'm going to do this, or you get afraid to. You're frightened to dream again
Yeah.
because you kind of had a lot of your dreams come true. You've been lucky. You've done things. You've traveled. What is your purpose now? And you start to feel, okay, I'm too old now. I'm got to kind of sit back and relax and be at peace
Yeah.
and take this. And it's a horrible feeling. You work your whole life to get here and you go, oh my God, this is awful. So I was reaching out to all kinds of different programs to try and figure out what I should do. And the SHE program speaks specifically, I think, to women our age, at least women over
Hmm.
50. So
Yeah.
your kids are growing, you've done that sort of thing. So it helps you to understand that there are a lot of external factors that you have based your life on.
Hmm.
And I think maybe that's one of the biggest things that I got out of this was most of the things that I've done throughout my life have been based on external um, issues, other people, goals that other people set for you. You set them for yourself, but they really are to address issues or things that other people feel.
Do you have an
So,
example, Robin, for
um,
you?
well, I know dealing with children, I have sons that are 45 years old average. Um,
Hmm.
I have tried to continue to um, advise, counsel, somewhat as a mother and mother-in-law manipulate their lives, expecting them to make choices based on how my life was and how I saw things. And then I feel bad because it didn't work, or I was not welcomed, or various things that, my opinion didn't matter. Uh,
Yeah.
so that was a big shift for me because my opinion is there and it does matter to my sons. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not, that's not who I am. And I can't judge myself based on how other people are dealing with their issues outside of me. So I guess to understand that um, I can only have an impact on me, really
And
and
that's something
truly.
that that's something that kind of came to you as you were going through the process of the SHE program. You began to realize that you're the person that can control your life, but other people, they get to do what they want.
Exactly, and that's the way it should
Yeah.
be. And
Yeah.
it's actually helped a great deal with communicating with my sons. And we've always had a great open communication and a wonderful relationship. It was me that had the issue, again,
Hmm.
because I was feeling less valuable, less valued because of the change of life. And of course, you
Yeah.
throw menopause in there, and that just kind of blows everything out of proportion. It's always much larger and much worse than than it needs to be,
Yeah.
because of the hormones. So
And
that really helped a lot.
and sticking with just about being a mother of adult children, because I think a lot of women listening can really relate to that. I know I certainly can. A lot of what I teach in the SHE program is born from my experience of raising or mothering adult children. So how did the SHE program help you refocus on you and your priorities?
Well, first, it allowed me to say to myself, I'm not too old.
Ah,
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. You don't have to be finished when you hit 65. You can
yeah.
start anything over, you can start new. You can learn still. And actually, it's very good for you. It's healthy, keeps your brain, you know, stop the dementia from coming in too quickly. It's healthy. Physically, I can do a lot more. But I think most importantly, I don't need to be embarrassed or ashamed of it. I have joined a gym and I have set a small goal to compete in a bodybuilding
Ah, I
competition of
didn't know
sorts.
that. Congratulations. That's
Well, it's
exciting.
not, it is, it's not going to happen for another year and a half. I hope to do it on my
Okay.
70th birthday. On
That's
my 60th
amazing.
birthday, I went skydiving. So on my 70th birthday, I'm hoping to compete. Again, that I couldn't have said that prior to the SHE program because it's intimidating. It's a little bit embarrassing. People, oh, come on, you're really, you're going to wear a bathing suit. You're going to compete. You have muscles. Like, yeah, why not? I
You
mean,
go, girl.
you can do, and it's good for me. It's
Yeah.
physically, it's healthy. I'm eating right. I'm doing my yoga. I'm doing weight training, which is good for my bones and osteo and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So it's a good goal to have. But again, going back to the SHE program, I don't think I would have tried to get there in the first place, and I don't think I would feel comfortable, especially speaking about it publicly like this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so excited for you. And I think the other thing, Robin, because I've known you for a long time and I know how capable you are and all the different things that you've taken up, even since you've retired, all the different hobbies and businesses and trainings that you've done. But I think it's really interesting that this goal that you've set is going to take a year and a half of slugging away at the gym, consistency, showing up. See, that kind of I don't want to say self-discipline because that implies it's not fun because I think weight training's fun. But it's that consistency, that sticking to something, that prioritizing your dreams and goals, that showing up for yourself and not getting distracted. I would say I'd like to highlight that as one of the main benefits of what you've learned through the SHE program because so many of my friends and my clients, they can't stick to stuff. They get distracted. You know
And
what
it's
I mean?
difficult. I've been
Yeah.
started this in about January.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only been the last couple of months that I've decided to up it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if I can't make it to the end, um, then it wasn't meant to be. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that the long term difficult. I'm just going to go baby steps. Again,
Yeah.
she teaches you that. Don't try to swallow the pie whole. You're going to take a piece, you're going to take one bite at a time, one spoonful at a time, and sometimes you're not going to feel like eating the pie. Um,
Yeah.
but the next day, you know what? You're going to get up and your head is much clearer. It gives you a little focus. um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to focus again on what my priorities are, which is something we don't do. I don't think in the last 65 plus years I recall myself saying, what does Robin want today? What does
Yeah.
Robin want? Where
Well, you
does
feel
Robin want to go?
selfish, you
It's
know?
selfish. Yes,
Yeah.
you're, um,
Egotistical.
it's not viewed in a very good way or healthy. And
Hmm.
yet I think that it's very important, especially midlife women, to start to say to ourselves, look, we only got so many years left.
Yeah.
What do we want to do with it?
Hmm.
And you have to look internally to do that. And that is something that we're not taught throughout our life, really. And that's something
Hmm.
the SHE program does teach you, is how to
Hmm.
look inside. What does Robin want? What would
Yeah.
be good for her?
Yeah.
And what
And the
can
funny
she do?
thing, is you say that once you started looking at life that way, the communication got richer with your sons. You're healthier, so you're more vibrant in your community. You're looking for ways to be more active in community service. You're probably a better partner to your husband. You're
Yeah.
there's so many benefits for the people around you. And so for the women who are listening who are saying, well, I don't have the time or I feel it's selfish to take away from my family responsibilities and do a course. The thing is you can bring your better self to everything that you do. If you're babysitting, you'll have more energy and more focus. If you want to go back to school, your brain will be fresher. So,
All of those things are exactly what happened to me. I couldn't have said it better. I
yeah.
have, it's like an awakening.
Hmm.
I see things clearer. I do communicate better. My relationships are stronger, because I'm not feeling the weight totally on me that all of this is
Hmm.
my responsibility. I
Yeah.
have a role to play.
Hmm.
Um, and it may be minor compared to what it was when my kids were little or when my husband and I first got married. Um,
Right.
but that the role right now is, how to enhance my life, which enhances all the lives of everybody that are around me. So the stronger
Hmm.
I am, the healthier I am, the more I can help, the more I can
Yeah.
do. I volunteer at the Humane Society, or go back to school. I'm still looking at opportunities to go to school. I think it's wonderful when I see the 90-year-old woman getting her degree. I want to be there one day. Um, so it does, and it allows you, again, what I think most women would get out of this is that it gives us the strength to say it and do it, and not feel embarrassed or ashamed,
Yeah.
um, because we're trying these things at a later in our life.
Good for you. And I know I got some really strong messaging from my family growing up and culturally that, women were to be of service. Women, like, we serve the food, we make sure everyone else is happy before we're allowed to do anything for ourselves. The house has to be all tidied before you can put your feet up and read a book, and anybody that says, well, as a woman, I'm going to prioritize my needs, well, you're selfish, or, you're not being a good woman for your family. So to be able to find the language and the permission to set loving boundaries and to prioritize your own health. I mean, that's such because women our age, I don't think we're ever taught that. Maybe the exact opposite we were taught. Um, Now we say in the SHE program that we want to help people lose weight with mindful eating. We want to help people sleep better by understanding what non-sleep deep rest is, and we want women to feel stronger, which you have discovered by not exhausting themselves doing endless cardio, but exercising smarter with yoga and weight training. Of those things, did any of those components come true for you? What did you find were the impactful
All of
lessons?
them.
Yeah.
All of them, I have to say. Mindful eating. Um, I am a nighttime snacker. I pride myself on I can go all day without eating till dinner. But come 8 o'clock, the switch goes, and I'm in the fridge, I'm in the cupboard, I'm in the drawer, I'm eating the potato chips. Um, where I found that mindful, it takes, I think, what is it, 90 seconds or a couple of minutes to actually change your mind from that urge and that craving to something else. And I think that's where kind of the mindful eating, plus it helped me prepare your food ahead of time, plan a little bit on
Yeah.
what you're going to
That's a
eat, plan
superpower
how
right
you
there.
well, and how are you going to deal with that at 9:30 when there's a basket full of those darn Cadbury eggs? That's my thing, and I know they're there and they're calling me. How am I going to deal with that? So
Yeah.
it taught me to kind of set that mindset before it happened. And
Yeah.
then sometimes I'll eat the eggs, no doubt. But other times, I'll grab a book, I'll look at something, I'll get a drink. Often I'm thirsty, not hungry. Um, the sleeping, um, up until again the last couple of years, I prided myself. I could fall asleep on a bus stop bench in the middle of the afternoon. I never had trouble sleeping when I went away. I sleep anywhere and anything. Now, oh, I can sleep for about 2 hours, and I'm wide awake. Just
Yeah.
midnight, and I'm wide awake. 2 o'clock. Um, I find sometimes I have to get up and I have to just think about what's keeping me awake. Other times it's the breath work. If I can just get up and do a little bit of some of the breath work that we practiced in the SHE program, it seems to calm my system down, and the thoughts that are running around in my head, they go away.
Hmm.
I'm not a big journaler. I wish I was, because I'm not. And I think, though, getting up and breathing and thinking through some of the thoughts does the same thing as journaling did for other people.
Hmm.
And you can go back to sleep. And I also found that the midday taking a nap is something old people do, right?
Yep.
I'm not taking a nap. I don't care if I got up at 5 and I didn't go to bed till 4:30. I'm not taking a nap because I'm not that old. But maybe lying down on the couch, putting my feet up, or I'm a legs up the wall girl. Boy, if I do legs up the wall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I might end up actually laying there for 20 or 30 minutes when I really intended to be 5 minutes, but I'm re energized. So
Yeah.
it's okay to take a nap.
Mm.
It's okay to put the television on and maybe lay down on the couch for half an hour in the afternoon, because it gives me the strength to continue. And that was all part of, you know, the
The
the deep
learning you did.
rest. Yeah.
Yeah. The non-sleep deep rest. And um, it's such an important superpower, the planning that you mentioned. A lot of women resist planning because they think it's going to be too controlling, or they're not going to be able to be spontaneous, or it also hurts your brain sometimes to sit down and plan. You have to discipline yourself to actually pay attention. But once you get in the habit of it, it really
Mhm.
does make life so much easier. And then, giving yourself permission to have those rest breaks during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
really
that's
does
very
recharge
hard.
your nervous system. So you can handle the cravings at night. You're not so
You
vulnerable to
can
the
when you're not
cravings
so
of food.
tired. When you're tired,
Yeah.
it's very hard to handle any kind of urge or craving, right?
And I get
So when
cranky
you're
when I'm tired. That's no big secret. So, if someone looks sideways at you when you're cranky, you start a fight, right? Just for,
yes.
shits and giggles. So life is
Yeah,
more peaceful.
it is. It is. It's
Mhm.
more comfortable. You're
Yeah.
more comfortable in your own skin. I know that's, everybody says that, but honest to God, I feel like I'm more comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
And I've always been, a fairly confident person. I consider myself a very strong woman. I've never felt, I'm a male chauvinist. I've never felt that as a woman. I haven't been equal or able to do anything a man could do.
Hmm.
I think I have nothing, I have no women influences in my life either. My mom passed away when I was very young, and I have all brothers and male cousins
Yeah.
and sons. So
Yeah.
I've never really felt that. But the SHE program, it gave me permission to feel as strong as I am. It gave me permission to feel
What's a
like a
wonderful quote.
confident, strong woman,
Yeah.
um, and not be held back or considered egotistical or shameful of myself. I'm
Yeah.
very proud to be a strong woman, and I can say that out loud.
Yeah. Hmm. You know what, Robin? I'm really glad we had this conversation. I asked you in class if you'd be willing to be on the podcast. I thought I was being pretty cheeky by asking, but I'm really glad we had this conversation because I didn't know about your strength training goal, about your competition goal, and I didn't know all the different things that the SHE program had actually really came into your life. So you've done me a wonderful service. I hope our listeners feel more educated as well. But I have to say thank you so much because the SHE program is, my baby. And I'm working really hard, as you know, to try to get the word out there. And so to hear from a good friend like you that it actually really made a difference, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And if I can add one more thing,
Oh, of course.
it's it's that I learned, and I think this is something that women will really get out of the program, and that is, again, as an educated woman in healthcare field, I had no idea how much control my habit brain had over my life. Um, the patterns, the fact that I use less energy um, going to my habit brain, going to the patterns, because these patterns existed throughout my entire life. My mind, my body, subconsciously automatically go to those patterns, which made it twice as hard to lose weight, made it twice as hard to stick to a gym program, um, any of my goals, because automatically it would. And then what do you feel like? I feel like a failure. I
Hmm.
failed because, and the SHE program really highlights a lot of that um, habit brain control patterns that are set from the past that you carry through with through your whole life with you, and how you can change it. And it's really not that hard to do if you have someone who can show you and teach you how to do that. And that's what I find you've done for me through the SHE program. And I am extremely grateful.
Oh, thanks, Robin. That's amazing. Well, I have to go to work now. I have to get people to buy the SHE program. I'll just mention that if you're still not sure, because the SHE program, is a big investment of time and money, I have the free mindful eating guide. I've separated out the basic principles, including the planning part, into mindful eating. That's free. I also have a very low cost, it's $19, sleep solutions course where I give you some meditations, the breath work Robin mentioned, some background on the nervous system so you kind of understand a bit about the habit brain. That's all in the sleep solutions course. So those are two kind of like stepping stones. I'll put links in the show notes to both of those. Thank you again, Robin. Enjoy the remaining time you have at your beautiful cottage.
Thank you.
And we'll
Thank you
look
very
forward when
much.
you come back to Thorold and practicing yoga together again.
I'll be there. Namaste.
Hey, my friends, we're getting close to the end of the year, and I know you're starting to think about how you might like to shape 2026. I have a couple things you'll want to keep in mind. First of all, the New Year's retreat's coming up January 2nd to 4th here in Niagara. couple days where someone cooks you wonderful homemade food, and we'll have a chance to really set some livable, doable goals for the new year. And then also we have a wonderful workshop coming up on December 30th. It's an online workshop with 5 top experts, all of us bringing you the best advice we can for the new year. I'll have all the links on my website. Do check out the link in the show notes, and we'll talk soon. See you next week.